6 o'clock. This meeting is called to order. Charlie, would you please lead us to the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll start our meeting by approving the minutes of our previous meetings, starting with the minutes of the February 27, 2012 non-public work session.
Madam Chair, I recommend those be approved as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Ray, seconded by Charlie. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And Mr. Lewis was here for the remainder of that meeting. Moving on to the February 27, 2012 Select Board minutes.
Again, Madam Chair, I recommend those be approved as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Ray, seconded by Charlie. All those in favor? Aye. Those minutes are approved. Announcements. The Select Board will meet on the following dates. Regular meetings at 6 p.m. on March 26, 2012 and April 9, 2012. Work review sessions prior to the regular meetings will start at 5 p.m. Town elections tomorrow, March 13, 2012 at the Plymouth Elementary School from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Town meeting Saturday, March 17, 2012 at the Plymouth Regional High School starting at 6 p.m. Select Board will also have a work session meeting on March 19, 2012 at 5 p.m. All of those meetings will be held in the Town Hall unless otherwise posted. Weather observations for the month of February are available in the Town Hall. Citizens wishing to come before the Board of Selectmen and be on the Selectmen's agenda should notify the Town Hall before 12 noon the Friday before the scheduled meeting. Moving on to the agenda, under updates, we have the Unified Basketball Team. Paul?
Yes, it did.
A couple of weeks ago, Mr. Wood brought to our attention the Unified Basketball Team that plays out of the Plymouth High School. I was just going to give a quick update because I know we got a lot of things going on tonight. But if you turn to about the third page in the flyer that I just sent you, they're in the NHIAA tournament. And I can tell you see how it branches out on the team that they had to place to make it to the championship game. And they won all those games, which was quite an accomplishment. They did not win the championship game, but they did make it to the final game. And they'll be coming before this board 2 weeks from tonight on the 26th. And we'll recognize them at that time for their accomplishments.
Great. Thank you, Paul. All right. Next, we have the semi-quincentennial update. We did have a meeting with a couple of volunteers who are interested in participating in the committee for that. We still do need additional volunteers, and semi-quincentennial, just a reminder, that is Plymouth's 250th anniversary celebration, which will be in July of 2013. I know that sounds like it's a long way out, but in order to plan for it and really have a proper celebration, we feel that we need to get started working on it now. There will be some information available, I believe, at the polls tomorrow for people interested in signing up, but for those who will not be at the polls, we are still looking for volunteers for the committee, and once we get that put together, we will certainly start meeting and planning on that. I know there are a number of things that are being looked at, including a parade. Our Historical Society has put together some comparisons of celebrations that have been conducted for the 150th anniversary, the 200th anniversary, and have given us some ideas to go on. So the groundwork is started. Anyone interested, again, in volunteering to work on that, we would certainly welcome your participation. Did you have anything to add to that, Paul? Okay. And moving on to personnel, we now have the pleasure of a couple of promotions in our police department. Steve?
Thank you.
Matt was born and raised and attended high school in Sag Harbor, New York. Something people may not know about Matt is his passion for aviation. After high school, rather than attending traditional college, he opted to enroll in flight school at the Florida Aviation Academy. Matt obtained his commercial and instructor's license from the Florida Aviation Academy in 2003. Matt then went on to instruct in the field of aviation in Fort Lauderdale, Florida from 2003 to 2004. While Matt was instructing in Florida, his family decided to move to New Hampshire. In 2005, Matt decided to rejoin his family and moved to New Hampshire to be with them. Matt first came to the police department in 2005 as a civilian dispatcher. At that time, Matt expressed a desire to become a police officer. Matt excelled as a dispatcher, and his high level of intellect was immediately recognized. Less than a year later, in 2006, the department had an opening for a full-time police officer, and Matt was transitioned from dispatch to patrol. In late 2007, the police department was experiencing rapid turnover with the retirement and transfers of several senior personnel. This left a vacancy for the position of detective within the Support Services Division of the police department. Matt's investigative abilities, practical knowledge of the law, and sheer tenacity to find truth far exceeded his level of experience. Because of this, he was presented with the opportunity to become the department's lead detective, a position he willingly accepted with extreme enthusiasm. Since 2007, Matt has raised the bar for professionalism within the police department, especially within the Support Services Division. Because of his leadership qualities, not only do our own officers go to Matt for his guidance on investigations, but also officers and detectives from other jurisdictions often call for his consultation on their cases. Also, because Matt's hard work, the police department is doing a record number of felony referrals to the county attorney's office. Matt takes his role so seriously, he has even made a conscious effort to improve the professional image of our Support Services Division by being the best dressed detective we've ever had. One of my goals as chief of police is to invest our police department in the community at a higher level. Matt has already embraced this concept and is the police department liaison with Voices Against Violence. Because of Matt's total devotion to protecting members of our community and Voices Against Violence Agency, they have recently presented him with the Community Service Award. Matt's hard work, training, performance, and commitment to the professionalism are all indicative of the leadership qualities we are looking for at the Plymouth Police Department. It is with confidence today that I recommend his promotion to the rank of Detective Sergeant. Thank you. Karen.
Yeah. And we voted on this. Right. We had previously voted on Chief Lefebvre's recommendation, so the Select Board absolutely blesses this promotion.
Thank you.
Raise your hand, please. And repeat after me. I, Matthew J. McCarthy,
I, Matthew J. McCarthy,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully
that I will
and
faithfully
impartially
and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent on me
all the duties incumbent on me
as Detective Sergeant,
as Detective Sergeant,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
to the Constitution of the United States,
to the Constitution of the United States,
and to the rules and regulations
and to the rules and regulations
of the Constitution and laws
of the Constitution
of
and
the
laws
state of New
of the
Hampshire.
state of New Hampshire.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Matt.
Thank you.
Please.
Thanks. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Congratulations, Matt. Thanks.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. All right. This is an extremely proud moment for the town of Plymouth. Alex is a true product of our community. He was born and raised in the area and chose to remain here and give back by becoming a public servant. Law enforcement runs through Alex's veins. His father, Clint, served in law enforcement for over 27 years. Alex first came to the Plymouth Police Department in 1997 as a police explorer when he was in high school. After high school, Alex continued his pursuit towards law enforcement and obtained his associate's degree in criminal justice from the New Hampshire Technical College in Concord. Alex has been with the police department for 10 years. Having been hired in 2002, Alex served as a patrol officer for 6 years, and while serving in this capacity, he was instrumental in the training of junior officers as a field training officer. I would like to add that the position of field training officer is without a doubt one of the most valuable but often most misunderstood and underappreciated positions within law enforcement organization. For it is the primary duty of the field training officer not only to train new officers, but to also instill culture, expectations, and work ethic into new, impressionable police officers. This is something that Alex has done, and done very well. Alex's leadership role, Alex's leadership, role modeling, and examples have greatly contributed to the organization that the Plymouth Police Department is today. In 2008, Alex received his first promotion to a supervisory position when he was promoted to sergeant. During this time, Alex continued to use his skills to guide and mentor young officers and assist in the supervision of our organization. It is clear that Alex's easygoing style, coupled with his professional training and characteristics, have left a favorable impression on not only his subordinates, but also his colleagues and the greater community. Should have made this shorter. It is at this point I now recommend Alex's title be changed to that of captain, a rank more befitting of his position, experience, and command of the Plymouth Police Department.
And the Select Board, again, has previously voted to approve that recommendation, so Karen?
Raise your right hand and repeat after me, please. I, Alex C. Hutchins,
I, Alex C. Hutchins,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent on me
all the duties incumbent upon me
as captain of police,
as captain of police,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
to the Constitution of the United States,
to the Constitution of the United States,
and to the rules and regulations
and to the rules and regulations
of the Constitution and laws
to the Constitution and laws
of the state of New Hampshire,
of the state of New Hampshire.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Moving on to Chairman's comments, there will be a public send-off reception for former Chief of Police Steve Temporino on March 23, 2012, from 5 to 8 p.m. in the Tenney Room at the Common Man Inn. So everybody is welcome to stop by and say goodbye to Steve and wish him good luck. And for those who came for the promotion ceremonies, again, there's not a requirement for you to remain for the rest of this meeting, so please feel free to go. You're welcome.
We lost the game.
I know.
He's right after Megan. Okay.
Yep. And Moving along on our agenda, we're going to do a slight adjustment here since Chief Lefebvre does need to leave. Next item will be Police Department regarding securing State of New Hampshire Highway Safety Project grants. Yeah.
Well, Madam Chair, as you know, I'm always trying to look for grants, and this is something that Steve Temporino instilled in me when I took over, is that there's grant money out there, and especially for things that we have to do, like traffic enforcement. New Hampshire Highway Safety has grants out there for seatbelt enforcement, DWI enforcement, speed enforcement, and they also have some grants out there for technology as well, all of which we have applied for. I believe we are still waiting back to hear on the laptop computer grant, but the total of the grants is just over $20,000 in all for those grants.
Yes.
I also want to mention that when we go after these grants, like Steve was doing now, it's stuff that we have budgeted for, and they often find ways to offset the budget.
Right. And-
which is done on a weekly, if not daily basis.
And this is how the departments are able to turn money back in at the end of the year. No, I think that's tremendous.
It looks like we'll be securing all four of these grants.
It does look very, very good for us.
Excellent. Anybody have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right.
Excellent.
Thank you very much. And next we have Northern Pass, Peter Martin.
I'm just going to recuse myself from this guy.
Thank you for inviting me this evening. As you know, I was the one that filed Article 3 on the warrant for the town meeting. Since that time, and after we got a copy of the town report, I realized that there was an Article 4. And it has been brought to my attention by Paul that there was some confusion on the board. I think the board thought possibly that we were involved in Article 4. We knew nothing of it. And it actually has been introduced to our warrant at the behest of somebody from out of town. So I just wanted you to be aware of that we don't have anything to do with Article 4.
Yeah, there really was no confusion about that.
It's the public coming in and requesting to see the names on the warrant articles, and noticing the same names on Article 3.
We were completely unaware that this was going on.
Right.
The two pieces of paper you have, one is a synopsis that we plan to pass out to people leaving the voting place tomorrow, telling them about Article 3 for the town meeting. And the second is for just your edification about what I plan to say at town meeting. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, sir.
Were you able to check with Whitman Wayne?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was. Thank you.
Is okay with that? Very good. All right, and we will have the Select Board represented at the polls tomorrow, and we've signed up for our times. I will give that sign-up sheet to Paul and... Misplaced it. Okay. Go back to committee reports. Charlie?
I attended the school district meeting, which I think set a record, 12 minutes. $8 million. I don't know what that equates to per minute, but it was significant. And I think everything that they put on passed without virtual comment. Other than that, I have nothing.
Right?
I attended last week the monthly meeting of the Plymouth Regional Chamber of Commerce Board, and a couple of things that are of note that came out of that. First is to advise the Select Board and also those listening that the Chamber is pulling together a map guide and business directory, and there is information on the Chamber's website that explains the design that is being put forward this year. I would point out that the advertising deadline for getting into that map guide is April the 16th. I'll also reiterate what I spoke to last month, and that is to again point out that the 20th anniversary celebration of the Plymouth Chamber is being held on April the 26th at 5:30 at the Common Man Inn. It will be a dinner and a celebration, and there will be entertainment that will be part of that evening also. As part of that annual meeting, the Chamber is looking for recommendations to celebrate the individual within the town that we believe has done the most to support the development of the business resources within our community. The Hobart Award is what I'm referring to. And again, if you go to the Chamber's website, there's information about how to submit someone for consideration. And we've also posted on the website the list of those individuals that have been presented with this award since its inception. And lastly, I had an opportunity last week to attend one of the brown bag lunches that the Chambers puts on periodically to deliver educational resources to the business community. And this one was focusing on the value of still having a well-designed and laid-out website, especially when people may be slacking off with the idea that Facebook and Twitter are somewhat supplanting the idea that you need a well-designed and functional website. And I found it very educational, and hope to spend some time with Paul to learn a little bit more about how we're making use of some of the social media and, in the future, so we can tie it back to our website. That's it.
No reports.
Okay, and I have no report either. Do we have any public comment? Yes, Mr. Wood.
I think the board should recognize that the college hockey won their league, and then they played the first ever NCAA game, and it was a real exciting game, and it was held here in Plymouth. So they deserve a lot of credit. And got basically the same team back next year, so we either look for better things next year, right?
Absolutely.
Couldn't have said it better, Mr. Wood. Thank you very much. All right. Any further public comment? That said, could I have a motion to go into non-public in accordance with RSA 91-A:3, 2, A through C?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Charlie and seconded by Dick. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Non-public.